Good, Brandon.
Yes. Nice.
What's up? So the last video you just saw was 520 for me down at Sornex last weekend. I will tell you that for me, looking at that with, unbiased eyes, was one of the best squats that I feel like I've ever done. Not because the weight was impressive, not because it was a pause squat, but because I went down in the hole without hesitation. I hit good depth and I stood up powerfully. And when I look at everything, a year ago, 2 years ago, I would have been very disappointed. I would have looked at that squat and said, why wasn't I able to move more weight? Why wasn't I able to do more reps? I was able to do more reps. I was probably able to do more weight, but that 520 pounds was part of the program and the progression back to being better than I've ever been. Now, that being said, better than I've ever been, I look at everything, and before, the only thing that mattered to me was strength. At the detriment of my health, at the detriment of my feelings, everything else went to the wayside, and strength was the only thing that matters. So right now I sit here and I will tell you, strength has not been my main focus for prepping for Tattooed and Strong. It's been a secondary focus, but because I've lost 45 pounds, I've been eating much better. I've been sleeping much better. CPAP has been an absolute lifesaver, absolute game changer for me. Because of all of those things, even though the strength was not my main focus, my strength has progressed very, very nicely. Am I sitting here going to tell you that I'm going to do something otherworldly at Tattooed and Strong? Absolutely not. Am I admitting that I'm not going to do something to the best of my ability? Absolutely not. I'm going to give everything that I have, and I think I will be very, very proud of the number that I put up at Tattooed and Strong. But for the moment, I only started training again right around Halloween. So let's call it November, December, January, and then, February. So 4 months. I've had 16 weeks coming off of an 8-week downtime from my last surgery. So I've only had 24 weeks since my last surgery, and all things considered, I think I've done a lot of work in that time frame. People have asked me, and I made this video once already, and I watched it again, and I just went on and on and on. So I'm trying to condense what I said before. But people have asked me, why haven't you been videoing yourself or posting your videos? And the truth of the matter is I just wanted to strip everything away. I wanted to focus on myself, and I wanted to focus on just improving without having to answer for what I'm doing. And also, the real answer is, when I get in here and 10 or 15 minutes into my workout of flexibility work, mobility work, rehab type work, I'm sweating. I'm already in a good rhythm, and the last thing I want to do is break that rhythm up to worry about a camera angle or to sit, because I tend to overanalyze myself. I'll watch a set 4, 5, 6 times and just pick it apart. And the truth of the matter is, I've just been training and just getting in here and getting after it for as hard as I can for about 45 minutes a day. I try not to, an hour, including the prehab work, but I give myself 1 hour. How much can I do in this hour? And I try to do more and more and more within that time frame. And every second that I would be over here working with the camera or, reviewing video would be time away from being under the barbell or being under a dumbbell or whatever. So it's been kind of a step back from the internet, but it's been probably 3 or 4 steps forward for me as a lifter. It's given me, it's just been a nice break. I want to share information. I want to give you guys as much info and insight to what I'm doing as possible. But for this moment, I just needed, I need to kind of reclaim some of the intimacy with myself, if that makes sense. I needed to kind of reconnect with the barbell for all the reasons that I got started in the beginning, just because no one cared. No one knew who I was. No one expected anything. And that's really what's been going on here. I've been a power lifter for the main lift, squat, bench, and deadlift. And then some days I look like a power lifter after the accessory or for the accessory work. Some days I look like a bodybuilder for the accessory work that I do. Some days I look like a CrossFitter. For example, I did some cleans with the center mass bell into a squat. 25 of those. I turned around and did some incline presses with the center mass bell. Then I got under a bar and did 25 squats. I did some band push downs. Then I went back and did some cleans and presses. Did some more squats and did some more cleans. And then I finished up with mountain climbers. I mean, if I posted that, hopefully someone would look at that and say, wow, you're really pushing yourself and improving. And then, I would have to answer the questions, well, are you done powerlifting? Are you doing this? I'm absolutely not done powerlifting. I'm absolutely pro health, pro improvement. And what I can tell you is, at my biggest, 348 pounds, I was good at three things: squat, bench, and deadlift. And I looked at myself and I was really, really fat. Like, I was a big guy. I might have had that power look, but I also want to be a guy that I got into this to improve the way that I look, to improve the way that I feel. And I didn't feel good, and I didn't feel good about how I looked. So maybe you can say there's some vanity to this, but I'm 35 years old next month. And, I watched a friend of mine who was 35 years old die because of sleep apnea. And getting a CPAP has been a game changer for me. Admitting that I had a sleep problem has been a game changer for me. I did not realize how tired I was. One, because of the extra weight I carried. Two, because I never slept. Like, I never ever slept. I'm a person who's always on the go, but when I would lay down, I would have 30 to 40 episodes of apnea in a minute. I would constantly just be waking up and catching myself and like choking for air. And I could tell you, I could lay in the bed from, midnight to 6 a.m. and I was tired. Midnight to 8 a.m. I was tired. Midnight to 2 p.m. and I was still tired. There was no restorative sleep. And now I feel like I wake up excited to get going. And I attribute that to my focus on getting my weight down, eating much better, taking the right supplementation, and just focusing on being a better lifter. The easy way for me was to just tack on a bunch of body weight and be strong. I look at Stan Efferding. I talk to Stan Efferding, and he's a guy that has really been good for me in the sense to watch from afar and see that, he was 265 to 280 pounds at his strongest, and we're roughly the same height. Nobody's going to tell you that Stan doesn't carry a ton of muscle mass. Now, I'm not saying that I would look like Stan if I got down to that body weight, but it's encouraging to know that there's somebody out there hitting huge numbers that push their body in different ways. So that for me is kind of the objective. I'm sitting right around 300 pounds right now. I'm a little over, but I'm a far cry from 348. I feel awesome. I feel strong. I think that I need to keep going down. I could see myself very realistically as a 290, 280 pound power lifter. The idea of 280 sounds really appealing to me. That way it's a simple just, wake up and, or the day before weigh-ins, just cut your food about noon, take a piss and weigh in at 275. That's a challenge for me. That's a difficult thing for me to do as far as pushing myself. The easy thing for me to do is pack on another 40 pounds and just push my weight up as high as I can get it and be strong. Getting my body weight down, getting my health in check, actually feeling good about the way that I look again. Because people don't probably remember, but when I went to Westside, I was about 265, 270 pounds, and I looked pretty athletic. I had, I wasn't overly big, but I was, I had abs and I had a good body on me as far as, people might mistake me for an off-season bodybuilder or something like that. So I remember those days, and I remember how I felt, and I remember how good I felt. So I think I'm better now. I've just got to build my body back into that structure. So after Tattooed and Strong, probably going to take a little hiatus, maybe a 10 or 12 week from focusing on heavyweight at all, and just really focus on some conditioning type stuff, some 20 rep stuff on the squats, probably 15 rep stuff on the bench, 8 to 10 rep stuff on the deadlift, to model my training somewhat after stands, and really push the conditioning factor and just see how I feel. You know, the truth of the matter is I might get to 275, absolutely hate how I feel, lifting, and you know what, I can change my mind. But right now I feel like the positive evolution for me is to continue challenging myself to be a better lifter, not in numbers, but in my body, and then let the numbers come. So I'm very, very excited for Tattooed and Strong. I'll be in the UK coming up this weekend. I'm going to lift. I'm going to do some workshops with people. I'm going to be traveling from England, Ireland, Scotland, and around, and just very, very excited to share the moment and to push myself and put up a number and have that be a number to build from. So the exciting thing is tomorrow's another day, and hopefully tomorrow I'm a little bit better than today, and then the next day and the next day. So thank you guys for watching. Like, dislike, whatever, share, but you know, comment below. Let me know what you're thinking about what I'm saying. It engages me. It gives me something to think about, somebody to talk to, and I appreciate your support. You know, there's been so many people that have been pushing for me and rooting for me, and I want to let you guys know that it doesn't go unnoticed. It's been, you know, when I'm sitting there looking at, like, I don't want to come to the gym today, I'll read some of the comments, and I'll see people who are struggling, and they'll tell me, you know, that, you know, I motivate them or I encourage them to go. I'm a human too. I have bad days and I have hard days, but you know, we're in this together, and I really believe that. You know, when I see those comments, it's encouraging to me, just like when you see this video, that might encourage you. So thank you for watching. I'm going to do some pretty cool stuff as far as videos when I get to England, and I hope to do you guys proud. So thank you very much. Let's talk to you soon.